Our top focus, just a few hours of rains created havoc in the national capital. The traffic was gridlocked in parts, crawled in most areas due to rains. In fact, the weather department had issued a rain red alert. At least 10 flights headed to Delhi were diverted in the national capital due to the rains. Traffic department has issued multiple advisories telling people to stay at home for safety.
ये नज़ारा है मेहरौली के पास कुतुब मीनार मेट्रो का। आप देख सकते हैं यहाँ पे सैकड़ों गाड़ियाँ पड़ी खड़ी हैं करीब पिछले 2 घंटे से। ऑलमोस्ट यहाँ नदी बन चुकी है और मैं भी यहाँ पे फंसा हूँ पिछले 1 घंटे से। ये कुतुब मीनार मेट्रो है और यहाँ पर आप देख सकते हैं कि इतने सारे लोग खड़े हैं जो कि 2-3 घंटे से लोग ऐसे ही खड़े हैं और रॉन्ग साइड में अब लोग घुसा दिए हैं गाड़ी। ये कतार गाड़ी की 1-2 किलोमीटर लंबी है और ऑलमोस्ट तालाब जितना पानी है।
हम मौजूद है बोटानिकल गार्डन बस स्टैंड के पास और आप देख सकते हैं कि यहाँ पे एकदम तालाब बन चुका है और इस तालाब से गाड़ियाँ गुजर रही हैं और खास करके लोगों को काफ़ी दिक्कतें आ रही हैं। बस नहीं मिल रहा है, वो कई घंटों से यहाँ पे इंतज़ार कर रहे हैं और साथ ही साथ जो दुकानें हैं वो बस लगा के यहाँ पे खड़े हुए हैं और उन्हें एक भी ग्राहक नहीं मिल रहा है। ये पूरा एक तालाब बन चुका है और यहाँ से लेकर आगे आप देख सकते हैं कि दूसरी तरफ जो है वो बस स्टेशन का वहाँ तक एक नदी की तरह बन गया है और लोग जो हैं वो परेशान हैं। आइए बात करते हैं इनसे कि क्या परेशानी है। सर, आप कितने देर से हैं यहाँ पे?
मुझे काफी टाइम हो गया, लेकिन
काफी टाइम हो गया। बस वगैरह कुछ नहीं मिली?
नहीं, अभी कुछ नहीं मिली।
और आप देख सकते हैं किस तरह से जो लोग हैं वो प्लास्टिक लेकर यहाँ से जा रहे हैं, बारिश से बचने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं। हालांकि बारिश से लोगों को राहत तो मिली है, लेकिन ये जो जल जमाव है उससे लोग काफी परेशान हो रहे हैं और लोग जो हैं वो कई घंटों से यहाँ पे इंतजार करते हुए हर तरफ दिखाई दे रहे हैं।
दिल्ली एनसीआर में लगातार शाम से हो रही बारिश से फिलहाल पूरी दिल्ली अब डूबती नजर आ रही है। इस वक्त मैं दिल्ली एनसीआर के गाजियाबाद के सूर्यनगर में मौजूद हूँ और अगर मैं आपको यहाँ के कुछ हालात दिखाऊं तो आप देख सकते हैं कि मेरे पीछे यहाँ पर जो गाड़ियाँ हैं वो आपको पानी में ग्रस्त दिखाई दे रही होगी, क्योंकि जो पूरा इलाका है ये यहाँ पर पानी से जलभराव यहाँ पर हो चुका है। ना सिर्फ दिल्ली एनसीआर बल्कि जो तमाम इलाके आसपास के हैं वो तमाम जो इलाके हैं उन सभी जगहों पर इसी तरीके से पानी फिलहाल भर चुका है। अगर हम आईएमडी की माने तो देखिए इस वक्त ऑरेंज अलर्ट दिल्ली, पंजाब, चंडीगढ़ और हरियाणा सहित कई इलाकों में फ़िलहाल कई राज्यों में हो चुकी है। लेकिन ऐसे में ज़रूरी ये है कि आप इस समय घरों से बाहर ज़्यादा ना निकलें, क्योंकि आईएमडी के मुताबिक भी, और अगर हम पुलिस की बात करते हैं तो पुलिस ने फिलहाल जो ट्रैफिक एडवाइजरी जारी करी है, ऐसे में मिंटो ब्रिज जो है वो पूरी तरीके से पानी में नीचे भर चुका है। तो वहाँ से जो सीपी का सर्कल है वहाँ जाने के लिए रास्ता फिलहाल बनाया गया है। लेकिन जो मैं आपको इस वक्त तस्वीरें दिखा रहा हूँ ये लगातार शाम से हो रही बारिश की वजह से है और ऐसी ही बारिश कल भी होगी, क्योंकि जो आईएमडी है उन्होंने ऑरेंज अलर्ट इसको लेकर के जारी कर दिया है। तो सबसे पहले ऐसे समय में घरों से ज़्यादा बाहर ना निकले, लेकिन अगर आपको ऐसे में भी इमरजेंसी होती है तो ध्यान रखें कि आप गाड़ी की जो गति है उसे कम रखें।
Meanwhile, just days after 3 students died at a basement of a coaching center at Old Rajinder Nagar in Delhi, the road outside that particular coaching center is waterlogged once again. In fact, Aam Aadmi Party MLA Durgesh Pathak visited the area with MCD officials. Delhi LG also posted saying officials are monitoring areas prone to waterlogging, including areas housing coaching centers.
We want action now. हम चाहते हैं सब लोग अभी यहाँ पर आए और हमें हमारा प्रॉब्लम का सॉल्यूशन।
Shifting focus now to Kerala, and with over 150 bodies recovered, the rescue teams are battling all odds, including heavy rains, to carry out search operations in Wayanad post the landslides there. From makeshift bridge to dog squad, Pratibha Raman tracks the teams and the strategies adopted in relief efforts.
The incessant rain continues to be a challenge, but the NDRF, SDRF defence teams are continuing undeterred. The Air Force too is distributing relief material to those stranded. A dog squad is also helping, looking for buried. As the death toll continues to climb, politics over the catastrophe has escalated.
That is politics. I am being sent to here, not play politics.
Right.
to inquire about the need of the people and help them. And I am not going to do any political activities here. From the side of PM,
Shifting focus now to Jammu and Kashmir, and the Election Commission is likely to send a team to the Union Territory over the next 10 days. This due to an effort that they are making in order to hold the elections in Jammu and Kashmir before September 30th, which is a deadline which has been set by the Supreme Court. Now, full commission of the ECI is likely to visit J&K over the next 10 days. Let me go across to my colleague Nazir Masoodi for more on this. Nazir, what details do we have in terms of this ECI visit? And is this going to be the final visit by the poll panel before they actually decide on a date of elections in J&K?
Well, the Election Commission has written a letter to the Chief Secretaries and DGPs of 4 states, including Jammu and Kashmir. These are Jharkhand, Haryana, Maharashtra and Jammu and Kashmir. And if you see, the order which clearly asks the Chief Secretary to ensure these officials who have completed their 3-year term in their native districts are transferred before September 30 in Jammu and Kashmir. And the Chief Secretary and DGP have been asked to give the compliance report before August 20. So there are other dates for the other states. For example, Jharkhand, Maharashtra and Haryana. Haryana is 30th September, this October. Then there is 31st October. Then there is 30 November for Maharashtra and 31st December for the Jharkhand, which is the date for the when these transfers of these officials. So clearly, this is the first major indication by the Election Commission toward elections. They have not given the specific date, but they have said while the elections are due for the 3 states in later this year, but elections in Jammu and Kashmir are due in near future. Clearly, Supreme Court of India has set the deadline of September 30, and if we see the tenure of these officials who will be transferred if they complete by 30th September, it is clear indication that elections will be held before September 30, and ECI is likely to visit full commission to Jammu and Kashmir in next 10 days.
Nazir Masoodi there reporting from Srinagar. Thank you so much for joining us with that. We'll take a short break at this point, but more news and updates coming up on the other side. Stay tuned. Welcome back. Now, protests over coaching centre deaths in Delhi intensifies, with students now demanding written assurance from authorities of ensuring safety at the centres. Remember, 3 students drowned at the basement of a coaching centre in Delhi over the weekend. Delhi Minister Atishi met the protesting students today, assuring that even the senior-most civic officials, if found guilty, won't be spared.
Angry students up in the arms in the capital, Delhi Minister Atishi was booed by the protesting students as she visited the protest site at Rajinder Nagar, which saw 3 tragic deaths due to flooding at the coaching centre. Atishi promised action and a magisterial probe into the tragedy. 5 days have passed since the tragic deaths of 3 UPSC aspirants. Students' patience is wearing thin. They are demanding answers and accountability. The Additional Commissioner of the MCD, Tariq Thomas, telling students that there are no excuses for what's happened. The students are on a hunger strike. Some students took a sip of water after the MCD Additional Commissioner assured a meeting with the MCD Commissioner. The students, however, did not break their hunger strike. Students were taken away in 2 buses for the meeting while police officials began clearing the protest site. Students alleged they were forcibly being removed.
यहाँ से प्रोटेस्ट जबरदस्ती हमसे हटाया जा रहा है, फोर्सफुली हटाया जा रहा है, जो कि बहुत गलत है। ये हमारे राइट्स का वायलेशन हो रहा है यहाँ पे।
आपको पता है कि इसमें केस ऑलरेडी रजिस्टर्ड है। 7 people have been arrested, which includes coaching center owner, coordinator, building owner, and even the person who has driven that car rashly and which has caused that wave, which आप जो आई विटनेसेस ने बताया, जो एक वीडियो में भी दिखता है कि गाड़ी का साथ जो इंसिडेंट हुआ।
While the Delhi High Court has summoned the MCD Commissioner and asked tough questions for the civic authorities at large, faculty members spoke to NDTV and demanded that students' demand to be fulfilled so that they can concentrate on their studies.
Usually UPSC mains aspirant tend to be very serious. They will not spend their minute on any non-essential activity. So this problem must be very serious. मतलब ये ऐसे नहीं है कि बस हमको कुछ देखने आना है, वो अपना एग्ज़ाम का तैयारी छोड़ के आए और भी मेन स्टेज का. सो दिस आर इम्पॉर्टेंट, जो भी उनकी जो मांगे हैं
वो हम बनना चाहते हैं, जिसके लिए हम एस्पायर कर रहे हैं. दे आर रिफ्लेक्शन ऑफ अस. अगर वो ऐसे करेंगे तो हमारा मतलब मन ही नहीं होगा ऐसे सिस्टम में आने का.
While BJP has been protesting against the Aam Aadmi Party government, Delhi Minister Atishi has said the Delhi government will bring a law to regulate coaching centers' infrastructure and fee.
अरविंद केजरीवाल जी की सरकार एक कानून लेकर आएगी जो दिल्ली में चल रहे सारे कोचिंग इंस्टीट्यूट्स, उन सबको रेगुलेट करने के लिए दिल्ली सरकार एक लॉन्ग टर्म सॉल्यूशन के तहत एक कोचिंग इंस्टीट्यूट्स रेगुलेशन एक्ट लेकर आएगी.
Ma'am, I have a question for you. Ma'am, you mentioned two reasons. One, you said that the library was running illegally, and second, that the drainage that system was there, because of which the water logging was caused, encroachment was there. Ma'am, my question to you is that who is responsible for removing the encroachment, and if it is MCD, why was the action not taken before, both on that drainage system and also in fact on the library also that was running illegally?
देखिए, एक्शन क्लियरली इसलिए नहीं लिया गया क्योंकि जो ऑफिसर्स, फील्ड ऑफिसर्स रिस्पॉन्सिबल थे ये इंश्योर करने के लिए कि जो पॉलिसी डायरेक्शंस हैं एमसीडी की वो ग्राउंड पर इम्प्लीमेंट हों. इट इज़ वेरी क्लियर दैट दे मस्ट हैव बीन इन सम कोल्यूशन विद द कोचिंग सेंटर्स प्रेजेंट देयर.
Bureau Report, NDTV.
Shifting focus now, and Union Minister of Road and Transport, Nitin Gadkari, has requested Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman to withdraw the 18% goods and services tax on life and medical insurance premiums. In his letter to the Finance Minister, Mr. Gadkari said, and I quote, "Levying GST on life insurance premiums amounts to levying tax on the uncertainties of life. The union feels that the person who covers the risk of life's uncertainties to give protection to the family should not be levied tax on the premium to purchase cover against this risk," unquote. Sources indicate that the Finance Ministry is considering the proposal. Now, India's atomic energy programs crossed a big hurdle. The country's most advanced and most complex nuclear reactor, the prototype fast breeder reactor located near Chennai, finally got approval from India's atomic regulator to start loading the nuclear fuel and then to go ahead and initiate the control chain reaction. Recently, Prime Minister Narendra Modi took stock of its progress. NDTV science editor Pallab Bagla caught up with the nuclear chief of India, Dr. A.K. Mohanty, to understand more about this atomic Akshay Patra.
Dr. Mohanty, on the fast breeder reactor, which has been in the making for 20 years and is one of a kind in the reactor, what is the big development and how soon can we see power from the reactor?
So the fast breeder reactor, we have started the fuel loading since yesterday, and in another 45 days to 60 days time, we will be approaching the criticality where the chain reaction will be sustainable. And thereafter we will be increasing the power step by step, going up to the 500 megawatt electrical. And this is, as you rightly said, this is the first of its kinds, and we will be the second country in the whole world other than Russia who is having such a power reactor.
Is it a complex technology?
It is a very complex and challenging technology because we have to fill with 1150 tons of sodium which will live in the liquid state, and it has to be managed very well. Technology has to be mastered, and in addition to that there are pumps which will be also working in the sodium itself. It's a very, very challenging technology.
So what is the fuel and why is it called fast and why is it called breeder?
See here, the fuel you are using a mixture of uranium and plutonium. So when the fission undergoes, it creates energy which is responsible for power production, and at the same time it creates a neutron which is required further for maintaining a chain reaction. This neutron energy is high, speed is high, and in normal PHWR reactors, they are thermal reactors, we slow down the speed, but here we don't slow it down. So that's why it is called a fast reactor. And being it fast reactor, we will be breeding more fuel than we will be using.
Meaning it generates more fuel than it consumes.
Yes. For example, this PFBR, we use a technical term called breeding ratio of 1.1. It would mean that after each cycle, we will be creating 10% more fuel than we will be consuming.
Which is very rare.
Which is not possible in other reactors.
Is it correct if we call the prototype fast breeder reactor the Akshay Patra for energy?
You are absolutely right, because technically whatever you are producing, you are not producing more energy, but you are producing more fuel. So it is like a Akshay Patra, it is not getting vanished.
In New Delhi, Pallav Bagla for NDTV.
And with that, it's a wrap here from my side. Keep watching NDTV.